Steve told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he had 7 TV shows. The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows. He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig. And I went in and that's why he couldn't do stand-up anymore. Imagine him coming to tell you another story where he got so big and it was Bernie and them's fault because they wanted to be movie stars. What? You called Ocean 11 to get that nigga's part. What do you mean you didn't want to be a movie star? So on the behalf of Bernie, I would have to say what I have to say.
Do you consider yourself a king of comedy? Where does Katt?
No, they consider that.
Oh,
like when after Bernie left, them same 3 guys I'm telling you about, the kings.
Yeah.
Right? Because DL is the greatest.
Yeah.
There's no DL slander gets tolerated. But they came to me. I was supposed to be the 4th king. I got the offer.
Then what happened?
But I turned it down.
Why?
Because you shit on Bernie. And I know the truth. You think I'm gonna let you shit on Bernie and then come get me? I'm the next king? Fuck you. Why? Because the whole time Bernie was here, you was acting like you was funnier than him. The reason you was supposed to go last is because it was your tour. Tell the truth. It was Steve's tour. Not it was gonna be called the Kings of Comedy, it was Steve's tour. These are the guys opening for him. Of course you gotta close if it's your tour. That's why it was such a big deal. But you couldn't do it, because you can't beat the best. And until you humble yourself, you will forever be kinged by the king. And because you finally did it, because you didn't have no other choice, and now that he gone, you gonna act like he wanted to be a movie star. You stop it. You stop it. That man was funnier than all of y'all, and y'all thought y'all had one over on him. You thought he was black and ugly, and you were good looking, and he couldn't make it, cause you did. And that ain't the way comedy works. The king is the funniest. Period. Every time. And that's why no audience member was ever swayed. It didn't matter where Bernie went. You think if Bernie went first, he wasn't the king? Get out of here. Get out of here. Get your ego out of this. You let the best be the best.
So I keep getting lots of contact about my thoughts on the Katt Williams interview on Club Shay Shay. The interview heard round the world. And I don't know, my take is probably going to be really, really boring. Number one, I want people to keep in mind, my dad has been dead for 15 years, so I have not been fully immersed in the world of comedy. I don't know the ins and outs of that like that anymore because my end has been gone for 15 years. You know, I've got friends in the game, but we don't sit and talk about, you know, stuff like that. So I don't know Katt Williams. Never met him. That's one person I never did get to meet when my dad was alive. But from everything that I've ever heard my dad, you know, say, he's always seemed like a stand-up dude. So I have no qualms, no quarrels with him. I thought the interview was hilarious, entertaining. That man dropped so many one-liners that I'm sure we are going to be wearing down to the ground in this year of our Lord 2024. But one of my biggest takeaways in watching people's responses was how people were kind of like, oh, that's kind of sad, like outside of being, you know, tickled by it. And I've seen people say stuff like, it's like watching, you know, your uncles go at it and you're like, oh, why can't we all just get along? Well, I mean, because everybody doesn't get along. Like, I think that's one of the misconceptions about comedians, and I guess it's due to the fact that what they do brings so much joy to others, that the perception, the expectation is that behind closed doors, everybody gets along, everybody it's in love. And no, it's not. They've always been competitive. It's always been, as far as I've ever witnessed in watching my dad, it's always been kind of cutthroat. Like, you'll have, people beefing, like, same as within your family. Just because y'all related don't mean y'all all get along, right? Comedy's no different. But for me, Katt Williams has my utmost appreciation and respect for giving my dad his props and his flowers. And I felt like it was genuine. There are some people who have given, my dad his flowers now that he's dead, that I'm looking at like, doggone well, he wasn't doing that when he was alive. And that, not just famous people, just people all across the board. As my dad used to say, you ever want to be loved by everybody? You ever want to be special? Just die. It's real easy to give lip service when somebody dies and they were so wonderful. And that's not how you felt when they were alive. But when Katt spoke of my dad, for me, I felt his heart. I felt that it was genuine, and I appreciate it. Again, it's been 15 years since my dad's been dead. If you follow me at all, I've said this repeatedly, like, it does my heart good to know that my dad was a stand-up guy, that the man that I knew him to be was who he actually was to people, because that's the thing. Like, we can love people and think they one way and then find out later, no. And I say, like, in 15 years, if he was an asshole, somebody by now would have been like, let me tell you about that, mother. So that is not the case with my dad. Makes me so proud, and I just really appreciate what I believe the genuine love and respect that Katt Williams showed my father. It is so much appreciated. Much love and mad props to Katt Williams. I would love to sit down and just have a conversation with Katt Williams, because I think that is probably be the most entertaining and gem dropping conversation I probably would have in my life outside of conversations with my dad. So yeah, so that's my take. Like I said, probably boring, but that's what I thought. Again, much love and respect to Katt Williams.